Hello everybody, welcome back to another video. I know I haven't been on this channel for a few months, more than a few months. Been focusing on the main channel, but with everything happening in the world right now, specifically in the Middle East, I decided that I needed to make a video, or wanted to make a video, about what's going on. Similar to the one I made about the Capitol riots that happened, I don't even remember what month, was that, like June or something? It was in June. Just kind of a political video. I don't really care if YouTube strikes it, takes it down, only makes it available in like the Philippines, which is what they did to the Capitol riots video. I don't really care. I'm gonna say what I want to say anyways. I'm not gonna be. So I guess. So this video is kind of late on the whole Afghanistan thing. I have been just kind of like seeing how things play out before I make a video, kind of like get a full timeline, because when it first started, it was really too early to say anything. But now I think I have enough information, at least from what I've seen on the internet and from multiple different news outlets like CNN, MSNBC, Fox. They're all pretty much saying the same thing. I know that they can be slanted sometimes, but they're pretty much all saying the same thing, which is rare because usually they're saying complete opposite of each other because they're different spectrums of the political kind of line, far left and far right. Anyways, I guess it only took 11 days for the Taliban to take Afghanistan. Who knew if you put the Afghani security forces in charge that it would only take 11 days for the Taliban to take the country and rename it the Islamic State of Afghanistan? Amazing. The president hightailed his ass out of there so fast. It was ridiculous, and everybody was just like, where's the president? Where's the government? And the Taliban were like, right here. We are the government now. And they started snapping pictures in the capital in Kabul, and now all that crazy shit in the airport's going down. There's like 6,000, well, there was 6,000 U.S. troops there, and now they're not slowly, very quickly moving them out because they are now being fired upon. Oh my God. Last Thursday, which I don't know when this video is going to go up, probably before next Thursday, but last Thursday, I don't remember the exact date, 2 suicide bombers managed to get through the Taliban checkpoints they set up and killed 13 U.S. service members, 8 of which were Marines. Disgraceful that we would put our troops' lives in the hands of the same people that 15 years ago, not even, were cutting off the heads of American reporters, burning them in cages, and basically raping the country of Afghanistan. And now we trust them to put checkpoints up around the only airport that we can get U.S. citizens, Afghani allies, and our own U.S. service members out of? Really? The government told people to show them the Taliban, them as the Taliban, their blue passports that said they were American citizens. They were like, go to the Taliban checkpoints, show them the blue passport, the blue paper that says you are an American citizen, they'll let you through. Really? You want me, an American, a white American in Afghanistan, to go to a Taliban checkpoint and tell them and show them, to prove to them I'm an American citizen and just hope they don't blow my head off and let me through? No, I don't think I'm going to do that. And most people aren't. Most people are ditching their IDs and hiding, which probably is a wise decision because I'm not going to risk me and my family's life off of what the government is saying, because I wouldn't trust the government at this point. They have screwed everybody in that country so hard. And the current administration is not helping with that either. They had no contingency plan, nothing. It is disgraceful. And now people are losing their lives, including U.S. service members and Marines. I watched CNN when they showed that gruesome video of them pulling bodies out of a ravine, and it was just like hundreds of people just blown to smithereens because the Taliban either A, let those suicide bombers through, or B, didn't check them well enough, or didn't care to check them well enough. And the people that blew themselves up are calling themselves ISIS-K. ISIS-K? Is that like a branch off of ISIS, or what? Like, they're really unoriginal. They can't come up with their own name. That's how backwards they are. Anyways, it's just no one's helping them. And I guess we're supposed to be gone by the 31st, and as of now, recording this, it is the 30th. So they have one more day to get to that airport and get on a plane. And they, I mean American citizens and Afghani allies. But after our military leaves, That airport is falling to the Taliban, and no one's getting out of that country. We're leaving them all. I thought the motto from the military was supposed to be never leave a man behind. Well, I guess we're leaving a lot of men and women behind. Speaking of women, those women have lived in a democratic state of Afghanistan for over 18 years. Imagine being born in like 2005-ish, when the military first started to deploy in Afghanistan and kind of like be like, no, Taliban, you can't be doing this crazy shit. And you were born having rights. Your mom never had rights, and now she does, and now you have rights as a woman. And now in 2021, you are stripped of those rights. It's be like living in America and one day waking up free, and then the next day waking up not free. Being oppressed, not being able to have education, not being able to drive cars, having to wear that stupid crap they have to wear to cover basically their entire body, and when it's like 190 degrees, because that's just their old way of thinking. The Taliban are going back to what they were doing when they still had the country, before we took it from them 15, 18, 20 years ago. And we've been there for 20 years. We don't need to be there for any longer, but we didn't need to do it like this. All 7 of our military bases were evacuated in the middle of the night. No one even knew that they were going to do it that quickly. Now, the previous administration, Trump's administration, had decided that they were going to stair-step the military out of Afghanistan, but he lost the election, unfortunately, and Biden was like, well, why don't we just do it all at once? By August 31st, they need to be out of there, and that's that. I don't think anybody expected the Taliban to launch a major offensive and take the country in 11 days, or for there to only be one airport that is being severely hindered right now. They're currently, I was watching the news last night at about midnight, and at midnight last night in Afghanistan, it was about 8:30, and they were shooting rockets at the airport. I was watching live, and they said, like, it's been like 15 minutes and they've shot like 3 rockets already. No one's been killed, and that was the last I heard. There's probably been probably more attacks, and I hope that there's no more fatalities. I know there were 60 plus Afghani fatalities in those suicide bombings, and I know that 13 U.S. service members were killed. I watched on the news again them unloading their bodies at the Air Force Base, and I've been seeing stories about the personal, like the individual Marines that were killed floating around. And it's just really sad because that didn't need to happen. They could have just set up a perimeter around the airport, which they let the Taliban do, which is why this happened. They could have just not let the Taliban take the city of Kabul and just made a perimeter around the whole city and just kept the city until they needed to leave. That didn't happen. They let the Taliban take the city and the entire country. And it's really unfortunate because all the Afghani security forces left all their weapons, everything we gave them, the Humvees, the Javelins, the freaking jets, and everything we gave them. They just left. So now this might be the one terrorist organization with an air force if they can figure out how to fly the jets. And they have drones now too. That's been confirmed. They have drones. Speaking of drones, apparently after the suicide bombing attacks that killed military members, Joe Biden was like, we're going to retaliate. And I was hopeful. And I guess he did. They sent drone strikes that killed members of ISIS, but it was ISIS-K that attacked them, not ISIS. So I think they got confused and blew up the wrong terrorists. But there's a lot of terrorists in that country, so it's really easy to do. I mean, you got the Taliban, you got ISIS, you got Al-Qaeda, you got, now ISIS-K, you've got branches because they don't necessarily agree with each other. And the Taliban have said countless times that they are not affiliated with ISIS-K. They are their mortal enemies, but yet they branched off of the Taliban. That's where ISIS-K came from. They branched off of the Taliban. So how can you be mortal enemies with people you are working with, or I guess are working with? I don't know. It's all just, there's no line. There is no definitive line. And that's what we need to do, is make a definitive line, but we're not. We're constantly having that line pushed back in our faces, and people are dying. Innocent people, innocent Afghanis are so desperate to get out. They are putting themselves in the wheel wells of these huge aircraft and dying because they would rather risk their lives to get out of that country than stay there and have to deal with the fallout of the Taliban, of what that's going to mean for them. And I just think that is so awful that we are leaving those people to die. We're leaving them to die. They will die. and they have the Taliban have lists of all the translators and anybody who's affiliated, anybody who's an honorary American. They're hunting them down right now, and those people aren't going to be able to get out after the 31st, which is in another day. And by the time I post this video, the deadline will probably be passed, and all those people will be stuck there, and it's really awful. Now, I am by no means an investigative journalist, and I by no means, I mean, I've researched some of this stuff, but a lot of it I've just seen and heard, so this is not factual things I'm saying. These are just my opinions. This entire video is an opinion. Nothing here is fact because I have not even fact-checked myself. I am making this video on a whim out of anger and out of sadness and out of a lot of different emotions, so there's not a lot of factual things going in here. Some of it is supposed to be, but I don't know whether or not it's accurate. So don't quote me on any of this. I'm just talking off the cuff here. It's just really more of an opinionated video. So it's kind of a heavy one today. I apologize for that, but it's got to be done. I know this channel is kind of turning into more of a political view channel, but maybe that's what it'll be. I don't really know what it is yet. It's supposed to be a reaction channel, and I'm doing this, but I guess I'm reacting to what's happening in the world right now. It's trying to stay relevant. Anyways, I know it was a heavier video. Probably not what you want to hear, but it's got to be said. The opinions have to be expressed. That is how we express our freedom in this country. Anyways, like, comment, and subscribe, I guess, and I'll see you guys in the next video.